in career day, choreography was never on the board, right? There was lawyer, there was doctor, there was, there was gardener, there was all these things, and choreographer was not one, especially for a boy.
Jamal Terry-Sims.
Yes, yes.
Dancer, choreographer, now director of the film When the Beat Drops.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Lend Me Your Lens.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So, like with everyone we have here, we want to start at the beginning, So most people know you as just this phenomenal dancer. But at what point did you realize growing up that like you were more than just a kid who had some rhythm, that was something uniquely special about you?
I don't know that answer, but I do know the time when I was like, this is what I want to do. I want, not knowing how to do it or what to do, but when I was 9 years old, 8 or 9, my cousin Kim, she took me to the ArcLight over here to the Cinerama Dome. It wasn't the ArcLight back then because it was a little while ago. It was the Cinerama Dome, so it was the big dome, and she took me to see The Wiz. And I saw Michael Jackson as a scarecrow and Dorothy and the lion, and it was. I remember sitting in the theater saying that this is what I want to do. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but this is what I want to do. And that story just resonated with me so strongly for the rest of my life. And so I remember saying that I want to do this, sing, dance, whatever it was, that's what I wanted to do. So yeah.
So you were a kid, you saw The Wiz.
Sure.
Then at 17, there's sort of a connection there between The Wiz and your first sort of breakout opportunity as a dancer.
There was an audition in the paper for Michael Jackson Remember the Time. And the guy who used to cut my hair, he was like, you should go down there. And I was like, I don't know, there's a lot of people. I've never been to LA, because I grew up in Rancho Cucamonga, so not LA. So Rancho Cucamonga is 45 minutes outside of LA. A different pace, so I was like, well, I don't know, LA, drove in here and booked the job. My first professional job,
Okay, so then how did your family, because obviously you got that opportunity with the hard work, dedication, commitment to the craft. How did your family nurture that gift growing up?
They were just always supportive. My dad would always tell me that, if you want something, there's nothing you can't do. And I remember there was a point where I wanted to be a singer. So I never really wanted to be a dancer. Never wanted to be a dancer, never wanted to be a choreographer. That wasn't a thing. I wanted to be a singer. And so I put together a boy group, and we lip synced songs in different shows, right? So we did a television show, competed on the show called Putting on the Hits when I was 15, and we got all the shine, and everybody was, at the high school was like, oh, these are the guys. And I fell in love with it. I was like, this is what I want to do. And he said, well, you have to learn how to sing. So he made us go outside and learn every note from New Edition album. Like, we were studying, and before you know it, we got a record deal. And it was me, my cousin, my brother, and a couple of our friends. So I thought that was my ticket. I was like, we got a record deal. We're gonna be the next New Edition. We were actually called Fresh Attraction at the time. So the New Edition, Fresh Attraction. It's crazy. But anyways, so that's what we did. And through that thinking that there's really nothing that I can't do, I never really put limitations on myself. And it was, also, and my mom and dad, they were at every show. They were at, anything that I could do, that they could do to help me, they were there along the way. And I think that was a big part of the reason why, success started happening.
Right. Yeah. Now, you talk a lot about sort of those grassroots efforts in growing up and sort of evolving in your craft.
Yeah.
But now with social media, how would you say social media has transformed the way dancers can get exposure? Is it easier now than perhaps when you were initially doing it?
You know, I think it's easier in the way that you don't have to do the footwork that we had to do. I mean, you could stay in your room and post these videos, and if they're good, people will start to respond. So I think that's easier, but I think because of that, there's so many people doing it. And so the competition is probably a little bit more, and you know, and how do you make these videos different? And so I think you really have to be creative. But you know, I'm so glad I didn't grow up in this period in time, because I don't, you know, there was something about going and really having to travel to a space, to audition, to look at your competition in the eye and see what they're doing right, and maybe some of the things you're doing wrong, or whatever it is. You know, there was something that was that feeling that you got when you showed up, and you know, you knew you had to, you know, really pull it out and be seen. So I'm just thankful that I grew up in that particular time, because this is a little bit of a weird thing, because a lot of times, I don't know, I'm not gonna get into this whole thing, but social media is I think it has really good and really bad things, you know, parts to it.
Okay, so now as specifically a Black dancer, you know, who came along, like you said, remember the time with Michael Jackson? That was an era of, you know, where videos were prevalent, you know, on television, and we don't really see that anymore now. So do you find now, with there being so many people in this arena, and there's a lot of competition, but not the traditional avenues, do you find that it's not as appealing, or is it more appealing now for dancers to try to get into this industry and make a name for themselves?
You know, I think when you want to dance, you just want to dance, right? You don't care if it's on TV, if it's on the stage, if it's on, you know, there was never, especially for me, there was never a certain avenue that I wanted to explore. I just knew that I wanted to dance. So I don't think that it too much matters, but I think that, you know, I'm glad that we have music videos, because, you know, that was a time. It was like they were making $1 million music videos at one point when I started choreographing, and that was like a blessing for me, because I was able to make a living and do it, you know, and now those budgets have been cut, and now it's just a different way, because, you know, everybody can make a music video now, you know.
Now, one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten was that, you know, you need to have a product, right? To really, really make, you know, the type of money to sustain you. A lot of people say you need to have a product. Would you say choreography is what was your product, or is your product? That sort of extended past, I'm a dancer, but now I also have this to offer.
It is. It definitely is. You know, it has allowed me so many different opportunities. You know, I was able to act in some things because of choreography, because I was choreographing. They were like, I've been able to model in some things. Just, you know, those are the things that I probably wouldn't have done had choreography not given me the opportunity, you know. But, you know, going back to being in school, you know, in career day, choreography was never on the board, right? There was lawyer, there was doctor, there was, you know, there was gardener, there was all these things, and choreographer was not one, especially for a boy, you know, for a male that was not on the list.
And what type of skills do you have to be a choreographer? Because there's a distinction there between just being a dancer and being a choreographer. Right?
The, you know, the choreography, of course, you know, the creative part is the creative part. But I think more of the job is being able to maneuver 500 people on the street doing all the same moves at the same time and making them sharp, and being able to lead is a big part of that job, you know. And you know, we have dancers that have, you know, some egos, and you know, we have directors that have egos, and we have actors that have egos. So we kind of have to be a counselor. You know, we have to get into the minds of these people that we work with. So I think that it's more than just the steps, right. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, many people see you and they want to emulate the type of career you had. But was there ever a time or a moment where you're in it, you're doing it, and maybe you just got sick of it, or you got sick of the politics of it? Like, share with us when maybe there wasn't so much glitz and glamour behind this art.
Yesterday.
Okay.
No. Okay. No, I'm playing. No, I think as an artist, there's always those moments, you know. But I can remember a time when I did a tour with Karen White. She sang Superwoman. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Taking It Back.
Right.
She was amazing, and it was a great time. We got off the road, and I felt like I still wanted to sing. I feel like that dream was not fulfilled. Like I still feel like that. I mean, I'm not a singer, but I still have not fulfilled that dream, you know. But anyways, I remember coming back and I was like, damn, what am I gonna do? How am I going to, you know, I want to dance, but that's not really the only thing I want to do. And so I stopped dancing, but also at that period of time, there was a lot of drugs and alcohol in our community, the dance community, which has always been. But I mean, I've never drank or done drugs. That's not my thing. And to be around it I felt a little out of place. And I was like, I don't know if this is for me. I just felt like the scene wasn't for me. Right. I think struggling with my sexuality, I think all of these things made me want to stop. So I stopped. I went back home to Rancho, and I was like, in the meantime, I'm gonna work at the gym. I'm going to, because I still wanted to stay fit. I still wanted to, and I started teaching step aerobics and choreographing my own stuff on the steps. But, you know, and that was advice from my parents. Just, you know, stay in doing something that pertains to what you're doing. You know, at least, you know, when you figure it out, you'll be in shape. And I was like, okay, cool. So that's what I did. And then, but that didn't take too long. I mean, once I started doing the 9 to 5, I was like, wait, I was traveling the world. What am I doing? What am I thinking about? And came out and then got another job, and that was it. But it was a brief time around 23, 24.
So you talked a lot about, you know, having to sort of navigate, you know, the world of dancing when there's a lot of drinking, drug activity, you know, going down. So talk about how you were able to sort of do that successfully.
Yeah, there was, so outside of my family being that support group that I don't, you know, I could be me, you know, and I don't feel like I need the approval of anyone. Outside of that, you know, I think that, you know, when I'm out dancing, when I'm out at club, dancing is my high. That is my, you know, that is the thing that brings joy to me. So that was always the thing. I would go out and people would think I was drunk anyways, because I was up there jumping around and you know what I mean? Right. So, you know, I never really had to, you know, they're like, he don't need nothing else, you know? And it's funny that when you don't do it, it doesn't come to you. The universe has a way of people, people ask me all the time, do people come up to you and they don't. They don't ask me if I do drugs. They don't serve me anything. They're not trying to slip me anything in my drink. It's a thing. And then I think when I tell them I don't, there's a respect thing, and they're like, So, yeah, it hasn't been an issue.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about this new film that you're directing, When the Beat Drops. Okay, now it centers around a particular genre of music, right? Bucking.
Yeah.
So share with our viewers what bucking is.
So bucking, it comes from, so I think a lot of people would know the dance as, they would call it J-setting, because Jackson State University was the first team to coin that term, bucking. I mean, take up the style bucking. What they did was, Shirley Middleton was the woman's name. She put down her baton, and started thrusting our hips on the football field, and people went crazy. And the dance style became became a culture. It was now there's no longer the baton twirl, and now they're going to get out there and do it. And so bucking became popular in the HBCUs, the historical black colleges, across the South.
Okay.
And so my documentary starts where there were males that wanted to do that, but couldn't be on the team.
Anybody that needs to judge us, need to know us, need to know where we're coming from. A lot of these guys are working for major hospitals and corporations and, doing major things in their life. So we're not just some kids on the street.
I'm a teacher, so I'm like a little worried about this. If they knew I did what I do now, or someone found out, I might lose my job.
And it's unfortunate because what you do on your own time should be what you do on your own time. Do I risk being gay just to do competition? Maybe I can get into basketball. No. However, when the music plays, when the beat drops, my mission is to take over the world.
So they, what they did was they took it to the clubs and they started doing it in the clubs. And our story starts with one of the founding members that put together the first team, 5'5", Anthony Davis. He, in '93, started the first organized team, and they've been going for 20 years, and nobody really knew about it. Yeah, yeah. So they, every Saturday, Friday, Saturday night, they go out and they battle different teams, and it's beyond entertaining. It's really interesting that the passion of this style of dance that they have for, that they have, and yeah.
Why do you think, so when we kind of look at the evolution of dance, right? Like there's so many different styles of dance, while at the same time, a lot of it mirrors what we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
So how is bucking different or the same?
Well, funny. Every time I see bucking, every time I see the, all I could think is Africa. I could see a lot of the similarities of the way the African dance they've taken African dance and just kind of made it a little bit more contemporary. And that's really all it is. Yeah. And even the stuff that we do today in hip hop, it's all has this base, this African base, and we, sometimes we don't even know where it comes from, but it's something that has been passed down.
Right.
Yeah.
What type of music can we expect to see in the film?
So that has been a really difficult struggle in our film, only because what they do is they take this band music, which is from these colleges, and they put these remixes on it with these house tracks. And so it's kind of hard, who makes these records, and these kids are putting it together, and so it's been a struggle, but yeah, it's a bit of house music, it's a bit of traditional band music from the South, and also there's this Baltimore dance music that they have, Baltimore house, that's what they call it, and so you can hear some of that in here too as well. Okay. Yeah. We have some Big Freedia, we have some bounce music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. So one of the themes that we see with a lot of our guests on Lend Me Your Lens is one of partnership.
Yeah.
And a lot of our guests share that they are able to do what they do so well because they have the help of their partner.
Yeah.
So speak a little bit about how your partnership works in terms of your brand, in terms of just loving what you do and being able to be free in what you do.
Yeah. I married my husband in 2014 on the Grammys, and we at that point we really hadn't talked to anybody really about our sexuality. It was, if we post pictures on IG, it was like, my homie, my friend, just very vague. And but when we decided to do that, we had to really say, okay, you know what? We have to own it. This is who we are. This is what's going to be. And after that, we decided to start a business together because, one thing, we realize is that we're stronger together than we are apart, right? When you decide to come together with somebody for whatever reason, I think two minds are better than one. I really do. So anyway, so we decided to do that, and we opened a tuxedo company, a clothing company called Groom, which now Octavius runs. And while I'm doing 1,000 other things, you know, but it's important because, you know, just when you're feeling insecure, as we all do with being an artist, and you're feeling like, is this really, you know, is this something? Is it going to be anything? Is this, you know, is this worth doing? The other person's there to be like, no, keep going, just finish it. Finish it today, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. And so yeah.
Are you guys? Because I think from what I can see on social media, your husband sings too.
Yes.
Right. So are there any plans of like merging this love for music and dance?
So funny.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that when you say he sings too, I don't sing. I mean, you know, I was more of the rapper that would come, not rapper, but like I would do like the ooh, you know, whatever, the talking, you know, the background. So I can't really say that I'm gonna sing it too, but yeah, we're gonna do something. You know, he does so many different things, but singing is something that he does very well, and so yeah, we will be doing something together in a collaborative way.
So one of the things we do with every guest here is we go to social media and we say, okay, what is the message here that we see most often? And you know, we see dance.
Yeah.
That is your hashtag. So tell us, what does dance mean to you?
Dance means to me freedom. I will say, because when I'm choreographing or when I'm dancing, I feel free. I don't feel like there's any limitations. I don't feel like you know, there's anybody that could stop me. You know, and whatever I want to create, I can do it with movement. So that's what dance, and it's allowed me freedom. It's allowed me to go and now do a documentary and do a design house, you know. So that's what dance has done for me.
Okay, that's beautiful. So now tell our viewers where they can follow you and keep up with all of the amazing things that you're doing.
So you can follow me at Jameezy, at Jameezy on Instagram, also Twitter, and Jamal Terry-Sims, Facebook, and I don't know if I have everything. I'm not good with this, y'all, but I do have that at Jameezy, and that's on Instagram and Twitter.
All right, we appreciate you stopping by, Jamal.
Yo, thanks for having me.